They say the scariest monsters are the ones that smile back at you. And when it comes to creepy urban legends, few stories are as chilling as the tale of the smiling man. So tonight, we re-diving deep into this nightmarish myth that has been haunting the internet and separating fact from fiction. So get ready for some serious spine-tingling suspense because we re-about to uncover the secrets behind America's creepiest urban legend. Once upon a time in a land not so far away where streets were quiet and shadows danced in the moonlight, there lived a people who prided themselves on their peaceful way of life. But one day, oh, how everything changed. It all started when people began walking alone at night in the quiet neighborhoods and started seeing the same man. He wore a suit. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. You see him every day. But what was different was the way he moved. According to the legend, he didn't just walk, he danced. Not a waltz or a jig, but a strange jerky movement that seemed to mock the very essence of human grace. And through it all, he smiled, not a friendly grin, but a wide, unsettling grin that promised nothing but eerie delight. Imagine this, you're strolling home after a late night out. The streets are empty, the moon is high, and then you see him dancing, that mysterious man in a suit, his grin like a beacon in the darkness. Your heart skips a beat. Is it a threat or an invitation? You can't help but wonder. As you watch, mesmerized by his macabre ballet, a chill runs down your spine. You try to shake off the feeling, but it's too late. The legend of the smiling man has cast its spell on you. But let's rewind a bit. Let's go back to the beginning. Where did this chilling tale actually start? As with many urban legends, pinpointing the exact origin of the smiling man is a bit of a mystery itself. Like whispers in the wind, stories have a way of evolving, changing with each retelling, making it hard to separate fact from fiction. But here's what we know or think we do. Much like the elusive creature it describes, the smiling man seems to have emerged from the shadows of the internet. No print sources seem to mention him. Instead, his story exists in digital whispers, in online forums where users recount their close encounters with the uncanny man in the suit. One such account posted on the internet in 2008 tells a particularly haunting tale. The story goes like this. A lone witness, often the retelling goes back to a Reddit user named Naughty Boo, describes walking home late at night down a dimly lit street. The clock strikes 1, and the silence is palpable. Suddenly, he spots a man dancing across the street. At first glance, it looks harmless, perhaps even amusing. But as the man continues his strange dance, something about it sets off alarm bells in our narrator's mind. Something isn't right. Curiosity piqued, the narrator pauses to observe this peculiar spectacle. That's when he notices the man's face, his unsettling grin. The man is staring directly at our narrator, and it's not a friendly gaze. It's intense, almost predatory. Our hero quickens his pace, wanting to be away from the man and his disturbing stare, and that's when the nightmare truly begins. Slowly, ever so slowly, the man begins to approach. At first it's subtle, just a few steps closer, still dancing, still grinning. But with each step, the unease grows. The man moves closer, and his grin seems to widen, revealing teeth that might just be a bit too sharp, a bit too long. Our protagonist's heart pounds in his chest. He tries to rationalize what he's seeing, but his mind can't comprehend this dancing maniac. Panic starts to set in. He breaks into a run, desperate to escape this terrifying situation. But the smiling man doesn't seem to feel the need to chase, not yet anyway. He just keeps walking, still dancing, still grinning, but now he's moving faster, keeping pace with our fleeing hero. Our narrator turns, glancing over his shoulder to check if the man is gaining on him. That's when he sees the full extent of the horror he's facing. The smiling man's grin is wider than before, stretching ear to ear, and his eyes, they seem to gleam with an unnatural light. This is more than a man, our protagonist thinks, more than a madman. This is something else, something sinister. Adrenaline surging through his veins, he turns and runs again, desperately searching for somewhere, anywhere to hide. He darts between parked cars, weaves through the shadows, and the sound of his own ragged breathing is the only thing louder than the pounding of his heart. Just when he thinks he might get away, he hears footsteps pounding on the pavement behind him. The smiling man is closing in. Our hero stumbles, falling to his knees on the cold concrete. He looks back, his face pale, his eyes wide with terror. And what does he see? The smiling man stands over him, his grin now a grotesque parody of joy. The legend says that in that moment, the world seemed to hold its breath, the silence broken only by the heavy breathing of the two men. But our hero wasn't trapped in that nightmare forever. With a burst of adrenaline, he scrambled away from the man, finding refuge in the brightly lit convenience store up ahead. As he burst through the doors, he could hear the smiling man enter as well, but his footsteps were strange, almost inhuman. They echoed eerily in the empty store, growing fainter and fainter until they vanished completely. Our hero never looked back. He never dared to. But to this day, he can still hear the echo of those footsteps and feel the chill of the smiling man stare upon his back. The story ends not with a bang, but with a whimper, leaving us to wonder, was it just a madman or something more sinister? Now let's explore why this particular urban legend has managed to capture our collective imagination. What is it about a dancing man in a suit that strikes such a chord of terror within us? Psychologists say humans are naturally afraid of the unknown, of things that don't fit into the patterns and rules of our everyday reality. The smiling man embodies this fear perfectly. He is an anomaly, a glitch in the fabric of our everyday lives. His actions, the dancing, the unnerving stare, the unnatural grin, all of it defies explanation. It doesn't fit into the neat little boxes we categorize human behavior into. And that unpredictability, that lack of rationality, is what makes him so frightening. Moreover, the smiling man represents a loss of control. In a world where we constantly strive for order and predictability, the mere hint of chaos can send shivers down our spines. The idea that there might be forces or entities beyond our understanding that we cut and control is a terrifying prospect. And the smiling man embodies this terrifying idea perfectly. Finally, let's talk about the creepiest aspect of this whole story, the enigmatic smile. A smile is usually associated with happiness, warmth, and friendship. But when we're talking about the smiling man, it takes on a whole new meaning. His smile is not a symbol of joy, but a harbinger of dread. It's a visual cue that something is amiss, that we're venturing into a realm where things are not as they seem. The contrast between the familiarity of a smile and the strangeness of the smiling man's behavior creates a dissonance that amplifies our unease. It's like encountering a friend at a funeral, a jarring sight that disrupts our sense of order and leaves us deeply unsettled. In conclusion, the smiling man may be an urban legend, a product of our collective fears and the dark corners of our collective imagination, but his impact is very real. He serves as a reminder of the power of storytelling and the enduring human fascination with the unknown. So the next time you find yourself walking home alone at night, better Google Maps. Because who knows, you might just encounter a smiling stranger dancing in the pale moonlight. So tell me, if you saw the smiling man on your street tonight, would you smile back? Or would you rather run to safety? Share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay safe and keep an eye out for dancing men in suits.